Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're doing well today. I wanted to have a little sit down with you guys and kind of go through how I deal with my art block. This isn't going to be my usual speed paint type of video. It's going to be the first half of me kind of narrating the process and what I do, and then the second half will be just a quick little speed paint of finishing up the rest of the painting you're going to see in this video. So in the beginning, you saw that I was trying to draw faces and I couldn't get to where I wanted to. I just started drawing a bunch of random stuff and then I'm like, you know what? Let me take a step back and go back to practicing, just drawing a bunch of the same thing. So I just drew a bunch of eyes. As I was painting the eyes, I said, you know what? I'm in an art block and maybe I should show people real time what the hell I do when I'm in an art block and not just talk about it and show random drawings or random paintings. So here is me kind of showing you what I do and the steps that I try to follow and respect with my style. Now, again, I have many different styles, okay? So this one I'm kind of following the arcane-esque type of geometric style with a bit of semi-realism to go along with it. I started with my simple sketch, simple line art. I do not add clean line art to this because it's actually just going to end up being a rendered painting without the lines. The way I started was I ended up picking a color for the eyes that were not completely white because the eyes are not actually white. They're shadowed, right? So the sclera has usually got different colors going on in there. So I ended up adding in different shades of the color of the skin, and then I added some red and pinks. I usually like to add a little shadow over the eye as well by using a multiply layer, and I use the color blue. But you could use red, you can use green, whatever color you want, but make sure it's a deeper color. For the iris, I end up using a dark green color. I like to go in with a Gaussian blur sometimes, just to soften it up a bit. I like to add a lighter color to the iris by either using a clipping mask or an alpha lock layer. And then I'll go in with a soft tapered brush and just do 1 or 2 brush strokes in the iris. For the pupil, I choose the same dark green. For the eyelights, I show a few different ways that I like to do them, but I just stuck with simple scattered highlights across the iris and the pupil. When painting the upper and lower lashes, I don't like to use a completely black color. I'll sometimes do a navy blue or I'll do a deep red color. Since this is a geometric style, I like to cut out my shapes. So here I'm just cutting out the upper lashes and the lower lashes, and then I fill them in with a soft brush. Depending on how harsh the lines are, I will go in with a soft smudge brush. If needed, I do go in with a soft tapered brush and just clean up some of the line work if I feel like it's a little too harsh. Now on to the fun part, painting the skin. I cut out the shapes that I want to paint in, and I grab a darker color of the skin. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of red to it. I try to keep in mind the fundamentals of anatomy, so keeping in mind that the eye socket is round. So I'm trying to respect where the shadows meet, the highlights hit, but also just doing whatever I feel like doing and what I think looks good. I like to add highlights to the inner corners and to the upper part of the eye crease, so I'll usually use a yellow or an orange color, depending on the skin tone, and then I smudge it out with a smudge tool. I also like to add it to the lower part of the eye as well. I also like to throw in some purples or blues, turquoise, greens, just to reflect the actual undertones of the human skin. I feel like it kind of adds a bit more character to this type of style, even though it's not a realistic art style. For the brows, I do my super simple method of just using a soft brush, creating the shape, and then taking a sharp eraser and cutting out the shape of the eyebrow itself. And then I'll go in with a smudge tool just to soften it up a bit. And then I'll use a soft tapered brush to cut out some of the hairs, and then use a smudge tool to smudge it again. Sometimes to add a little bit more dimension, I like to go in with a darker color of the eyebrow, put it in the middle, and then I'll take the skin color and put it on the outer edges. For this particular art style, I like to duplicate my eyebrow multiple times, and then I'll add a deep red color to fill it, and then what I'll do is I'll add a little Gaussian blur. I feel like it adds a bit more depth to the face. For whatever reason, I feel like I struggle with lashes, but here I'm just using a soft tapered brush and creating simple strokes. I like to create an overlay layer for the eye, use a lighter color, add a few brush strokes, and help brighten the eye a bit. I'll use another overlay layer and apply a dark blue color just to deepen the shadows a bit more inside of the eye. This part's for demonstration purposes, but if you want to add an exaggerated eye light to your eye, I like to add an add layer, and then I choose a lighter color of the iris or white, and then I'll go in with an oval shape, take my soft smudge tool, and then just blend upwards in circular motions to create this cool effect. Well, folks, for the rest of the video, it's just going to be me painting in a speed I wish I could actually paint in. I hope you learned something from this video. Hopefully I helped you get out of your art block. Maybe I helped you learn a new style or awakened something in you. If you enjoyed the video, let me know down below. Leave a like if you feel like it. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy!